Thank you very much, Bernard. Always a pleasure. Always excited to be here, and it's always a mystery as to whether or not my computer is going to perform. So I'm apologizing in advance to anybody that if my machine decides to die out on me. So hang on just 1 second here. Let me get things going. Got this big old green blob on the side of my screen right now. So I don't know where that's coming from. Goodness. But listen, Bernard made a statement there a moment ago, just indicating that some have had some stories with collagen. Right now, if there's one of two of you right now that's getting some results with collagen, would you please share your story? Just step up, raise your hand, and Bernard will spotlight you. And we'd like to hear what you're experiencing with collagen right now. Would you do that for us, please?
Wanda seemed like she's anxious to share hers. And Wanda, what we're going to do, if you can, and we'll understand if you can't, if you can go ahead and actually give us a picture there, we'd love to see it, but if you can't, we understand. But unmute and share your testimonial.
Well, it's actually not Wanda. I'm just in the car together. I'm using her phone. Okay. But I use it. I'm my husband. And so
tell us your name, please.
Michael.
Okay, Michael. Michael what?
Michael Casey.
Okay, Michael Casey, please go ahead.
Yeah, so basically I've been on the product for maybe about 4 months, but the collagen I was not using that much. I was letting my wife use the collagen because I felt like she probably needed more than I did. But about the last 3 weeks, I decided I was going to start using it consistently. You know, I would take it every morning, at least once a day, every morning, full scoop. And after about a week and a half, normally I would go to bed and I would wake up and I would be in pain, joint pain. And about 2 weeks ago, about a week after being consistently on the collagen, I noticed that I wasn't waking up with any pain. I would normally take a Motrin at night when it got too bad, and that would take care of me waking up with pain. But now I don't even know what ibuprofen is in the last month or so. The collagen has really made a big difference in my life. It's quite amazing. And I was one of the guys always used to say, this stuff I haven't seen a real big thing. It just made me feel good, all of the other products. But now the collagen has really made a remarkable impact on my joint systems.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you something?
Okay.
Did Jonathan pay you to say this?
Oh man, now I can't lie, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna plead the fifth.
You know what? Thank you so much. And these people are, and of course we have to boil down to the information. So we only have 2 more, Jonathan. Are we allowed to do just 2 more?
Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and get Beverly
the information.
Yeah.
Okay, but Beverly, I know a little bit about, and I know she has an amazing story. Beverly, let us hear your story. You can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay, sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. Afternoon, evening. I just wanted to, mostly everyone on except for the new people know my story, but there are new things that I'm finding out every day. I was on diabetes medicine, the metformin, for a matter of fact, after taking the collagen and the microdaily EMF and all of that other stuff, I was able to get off of it completely. So, and another thing that the metformin or the diabetes medicine did, a lot of people know that it thins your hair, make your hair come out. Well, my hair is growing back. I'm glad about that. And it makes your skin, it's just a wonderful product, what it does for you. The sight that which you can see just happening right before your eyes. I am, those who don't know, I'm 60, how old am I? 63 years.
Guess low, Horace, whatever you do.
Exactly.
I am 63 years old and I don't have wrinkles on my face. I don't look like
Wow.
I've been stressed like I've been stressed. I've been stressed, believe me. I have been stressed, but I credit that to the collagen. The collagen really does something to your skin. It works on your hair and your nails and everything. It helped, first of all, you know my story about my back. It helped my back to stop hurting. So yes, collagen, try it. It's the thing. It works.
Wow, wow, wow. Jonathan, what do you think about it? You know, I saw Beverly when she first started. I ain't seen no wrinkles, so I'm not gonna fall in that little trap. But I have to admit that the skin and the hair, boy, my wife, the same thing. I'm getting more haircuts than I've ever gotten before. Every other week I got to get a haircut. I've never had that happen. Well, Jonathan, you have a lot of information. You got Barbie want to share hers. And James, I'm gonna turn it over to Jonathan as to what he wants to do after Barbie, because I said she was gonna be the last one.
Okay, let's
Bobby?
go ahead and get Bobby in here.
Hello.
And you spotlight her.
I'm trying to get on here.
Go ahead, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Oh, you can? Okay.
we can-
I was going to try to put me on there, but I'll just talk real quick. This is about my mother. She's 90 and has lived with me now 2 years. And I started her on the micro daily when I started and on the collagen. And she's fallen a few times and she's never broken anything, but always is left with bruises and sore the next day for several days. And she just fell here recently. And the first thing she said to me is, I don't feel like I fell. She goes, I don't hurt anywhere. And so she expected the next day to feel something. And there was nothing pulled, nothing bruised. And so that was that's pretty powerful, you know, to be in your 90s and take a fall and nothing got put out of place. So, and
wow.
before it had, and then my husband had it's called hypokinetic dysphonia. It just means your vocal cords lost their elasticity. And he was a professional singer. And something that we've noticed is it seems like his breath is getting less breathy when he speaks, and that the vocal cords seem to be getting strengthened. And he had a damaged shoulder that is healing. And I have all the typical stuff, but I just wanted to share those to maybe encourage someone. So thanks.
Barbie, that was incredible. Jonathan, you know what? And I noticed the hands start going up. Sometimes people have these great experiences, and we can go ahead and mute out if you're not. Let's hold on a second. Sometimes people have these great experiences, and when they hear other people, then they got that inspiration. I've got to tell mine, and that's what I love about these programs. But naturally, since we've heard this great start to tonight's program, again, if you're coming on for the first time, Dr. Prasad had a extreme emergency come up that he says he really apologized to everybody here, but he couldn't come tonight. And this is the first time I've seen it in my 8 months of being on with the company. So it must have really been an emergency, because he absolutely loved to hear this. So Jonathan, it goes, I think with all of us hearing this, the real question that we're asking, and a lot of us have been on all types of collagens, but this is the first one that's actually, I'm getting the stories we're getting. So the question is, why is these products so effective, even the collagen? And perhaps maybe you can help us to understand the science behind it and why we should be taking it. Jonathan, the presentation belongs to you.
But here's a brief highlight of why collagen is so beneficial. In the past, we've shared stories about individuals who've had things like Alzheimer's and had just unbelievable results. But that's something that's happening behind the scenes. You see the top line that's mentioned there? Improved memory by removing beta amyloids, which kill cholinergic neurons responsible for storing memory from the brain. Now, collagen has the ability to remove beta amyloids. And the beta amyloids, that's what leads to the condition, because it's destroying these neurons, that's what leads to Alzheimer's. So when we saw people like Michi Morris telling her mother's story about suddenly things starting to come back. And by the way, I've heard several stories since then of individuals who were in the throes of dementia suddenly beginning to start to remember certain things that they had not been able to recall before. That's one of the benefits. So improved memory and learning ability by upregulating BDNF, so brain-derived neurotropic factor, so BDNF. Collagen binding and beta amyloids, making them non-toxic. Improve symptoms of sarcopenia, loss of muscle. Reduce osteoarthritis pain. Reduce symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, wound healing. That's just a short list. But because of what we see a synopsis of there, that helps us to understand why some of the stories, why the stories that we heard a moment ago are plausible. Keep in mind, we shared the FDA disclaimer earlier. None of these statements have been evaluated by the FDA. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. Engage Global, Dr. Prasad, no one is claiming that these products are a treatment or cure for any disease state. So we're not trying to say that at all. But we are saying it's a known fact, by the way. This is based off of this is based off clinical research and the references. But what is collagen? Collagen is what connects everything together. That's the long and the short of it. Your body has to have collagen because you're made of collagen. And there's not much else that can be said about it. You are completely made of collagen. It is like the glue that holds everything together in our body. So it does not surprise us at all that individuals are experiencing improved body function, decreased amounts of pain, improved hair growth, nail growth, and all kinds of other things as a result of it. So this is a breakdown of what types of collagen are in the body. So as you can see there, 80% of the collagen in our body is connected to, is type 1, right? And then 10% is type 3. And that's specified here because Dr. Prasad chose to focus on type 1 and type 3 in the product Collagen Daily. That's the reason why this is shown. So type 1 and type 3 is what's in the Collagen Daily that we have. Type 1 is connected to skin, bone, eye, and heart, and type 3 is associated with muscle. Now, you may be saying to yourself, but I need some help with my cartilage, and I sure need some help with my brain. Don't worry about it, because what's in the collagen that we have is not collagen. It's collagen peptides. The body knows how to make it into the collagen that's necessary. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think about it. You don't need to be concerned about it. And in fact, if you go to the store and you're looking at a wall full of collagen, and you see one that tells you that it's got 25 different kinds of collagen, it's got this one, it's got that one, it's got the other one in it, and you think you're missing out on something, don't worry about it. You're not missing out on anything. Your body knows where you need to put the collagen. So all you need is to have the peptide in your body, and then your body can go from there. This is a short list of what of the components that damage collagen in our body. So, and you see on top of the list, aging. Age is on top of the list of things that damage or degrade collagen in our body. But there's other factors too that can play a role. So Bernard, you're going to have to start skipping that donut. And so you don't want to put any excess sugar in your body. And I'm just talking about Bernard because he just happened to be a face that was here just a minute ago. I personally have cut back on sugar tremendously. I was one of those ice cream aholics. So anyway, I don't do that anymore. But as we get older, then our body begins to gradually lose collagen. In fact, it begins, according to Dr. Prasad, it begins around the age of 20. We begin to lose collagen. That results in all the kinds of things that nobody wants to have happen in their body. Nobody wants the sagging skin. Nobody wants the wrinkles. No one wants the skin to be less elastic, so the need for stretching of the skin and tendons becoming weak. I remember one friend of mine, he was in his 50s at the time and a little bit overweight, went out and played softball and just blew his knee, the tendons and meniscus tears right off the side of his knee. Because guess what? You're not, just because you could do it back when you were in your 20s and 30s doesn't mean you can do it 30 years later. So that's the reason why our bodies begin to experience what we experience as time goes on. But the only way to neutralize the enzymes that degrade collagen in our body is to, neutralize them. There have to be certain enzyme inhibitors that stop them from breaking down the collagen in our body. These, by the way, are just some components here that you see on the left side of the screen, this hyaluronic acid. This hyaluronic acid and all of its benefits. All of this has to do with, keeping the skin moist, basically. And on the right side of the skin, these are the components that do the damage to our body. So the bad guys need to be gotten rid of. The good guys need to be promoted. That's what Collagen Daily does. It works against the bad guys and promotes the good guys. This elastin. Look at the picture down at the bottom. I just don't want to get into this too technical. Just look at the picture on the bottom. As our skin ages, on the right, that's wrinkle. That's because of this issue with elastin. Okay, so elastin is what we need to make our skin look smooth there on the left side. So keeping the skin smooth on the left side, that's the elastin that's needed. Okay, so good guys elastin, bad guys elastase, right? Now, what inhibits these enzymes? What stops the enzymes that degrade the collagen in our body? Dr. Prasad, just doing research, identified 2 specific enzyme inhibitors that have the ability to block the enzymes that degrade collagen in the body. One of them is an extract from the amla fruit. The other one, white tea extract. Pretty amazing. Dr. Prasad very humbly said, I didn't discover this. I did the research and identified it. And then I said, why isn't anybody else putting this in the collagen? I don't understand why no one puts this in their collagen. So Dr. Prasad formulated it, added it to the Collagen Daily, and became the most unique collagen on the market. In fact, guess what, folks? This collagen stands alone. There's not another collagen on the market that has the enzyme inhibitors in it. Not a single one of them has enzyme inhibitors except Collagen Daily. Now, if you go to the health food store, this is what you'll see. You'll see a wall full of collagen. On the bottom half of the screen, what you're looking at right now, these are all average collagens. Maybe one of them looks familiar to you. I've even had people say, wait a minute, but I got this blue bottle, this blue canister of collagen right here. I'm going to just use that up. And then I'll think about starting on your collagen, which they say is a little bit more expensive, is what they claim. I don't think, something that makes a difference in your body, I don't think there's such a thing as more expensive if it's working. So I consider that to be a misnomer. But again, that's just my personal opinion. So the better products are the ones that have this hyaluronic acid. Remember, the hyaluronic acid is what causes the moisture in the skin. We've all seen that. We've seen it where our heel kind of gets a little crackly and dried out. We've seen it when our skin feels very, very dried out. Hyaluronic acid. So the better collagens have hyaluronic acid. There's just a small group of those. You'll see those. But the absolute best one stands and is one of a kind. There is no other collagen on the market that is collagen peptide, has the hyaluronic acid in it, but it's the only one that also has enzyme inhibitors. It is unique, folks. It is unique. So we can't say enough about this Collagen Daily. I started taking 2/3 of a scoop twice a day initially, and found out that the recommended dose was just taking it once a day. But I'm here to tell you that I believe taking it twice a day has benefits. I personally have been experiencing it myself, and we heard stories from some of you telling us the benefits that you've derived from this. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just showing you some of the slides that Dr. Prasad had put together earlier when the collagen was initially released. He also mentioned that he did some research and found out that when collagen is combined with vitamin C and a variety of antioxidants, that's how you get the maximum benefits. The maximum efficacy of the collagen is achieved when combined with antioxidants. That's a simple solution for us. If you know anything about Engage Global, one of the things that we really do well is antioxidants. That's one of the things that's really high on the list of can-dos with the company Engage Global. There is nobody else that does antioxidants better than Engage Global. It's the highest quality antioxidants in the world. I don't believe that there's any other antioxidant that's better than the combination that Dr. Prasad has put together anywhere in the world. So this is your absolute best combination of nutritional supplements that you could possibly put into your body. But now, what Dr. Prasad was going to comment on was the anti-aging component of collagen. And quite frankly, I think that everything I just said agreed with everything he said about anti-aging in the past. You might recall that, hold on one second here. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to stop the share of my screen, but what I'm going to do is try to switch to a different PowerPoint, because in Dr. Prasad's, let me see if it will allow me to do this and allow you guys to see this other screen. In the anti-aging presentation. Now, are you guys able to see right now the disclaimer?
No, all we can see is a collagen container.
Okay. You're seeing the collagen container. Okay, so
the dosage.
let me just try to make the switch and see if it'll do it seamlessly.
Okay, we see this disclaimer now, Jonathan.
Okay. So this is the one Dr. Prasad was commenting on anti-aging. This was his presentation on anti-aging. So his whole thing was simultaneously reducing oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. That was a key part. Because remember, this is Dr. Prasad's most recent paper that he published. That's published paper now. This is not just me or you and I, Bernard, writing an article about the benefits of micronutrients in the body. This is a scientist who wrote a paper, and the paper was published on anti-aging. And in there, he talked about the benefits of what we're looking at the headline there, simultaneously reducing oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. So he honed in on the impact that microdaily EMF would have on NRF2. So this NRF2, just put it to you this way, that has to do with our telomeres and slowing down the aging process. That's a critical part of the entire process. He also included in it the importance of restoring the gut bacteria and making it more favorable toward reducing the cellular defects common to aging process. Now, when he used the expression cellular defects, he's not talking about the defects that we all have, because let's just face it, there are defects everywhere. If we can mute all the participants that are not saying anything right now, that would be very helpful. It's very distracting. But not just the defects that a person, something that we don't like, a blemish or something on the body, but this is a cellular defect that leads to the degradation of life, that causes something to go wrong in the body, that leads to the progression of disease. So Dr. Prasad identified that these two things help to slow the process, and he was focusing in on Alzheimer's disease. Then he got to the magic button, the topic for our conversation. And this is what he said: how to reduce cellular defects unique to the aging process. And this was included in his conversation. Microdaily EMF would improve immune function, DNA repair capacity, and reduce attrition of telomeres, which are unique to aging. Remember that NRF2? That's what that's all about. And collagen peptides would restore the loss of collagen and elastin, which are unique of aging. So do you understand? This loss of collagen and this loss of elastin only happens as we age. So collagen daily, especially with the enzyme inhibitors, would by definition, along with microdaily EMF, be anti-aging in and of itself. This is, again, scientific proof of that fact. Now, the one last thing that we were going to have Dr. Prasad comment on, and I decided to just bring his comments to you based on his PowerPoint presentation. He addressed this question: how does collagen peptides help diabetes type 2? And I know that that's what the other reason why many of you are here. You wanted to hear a recap of this. But let's just, be honest, sometimes it's very difficult to understand for any of us to understand the scientific expressions that are presented to us. Very difficult. I take some time and I try to narrow it down. You see the words on the screen. This enzyme, DPP4, reduces the production of insulin. Okay, so now just pause it for 1 second. Digest that thought. There's an enzyme in our bodies called DPP4. Reduces the amount of insulin that your pancreas produces. Okay, that's all you need to know. Don't look at the parenthetical statement there or try to even pronounce that name of what that DPP4 is. Forget that. Okay, it reduces the production of insulin. Therefore, inhibitors of DPP4 enzyme would improve production of insulin, thus decreasing glucose in the body. So scientists have come to that conclusion. So guess what they did? They are prescribed in the treatment of diabetes type 2. So there is a drug on the market right now that includes components that inhibit DPP4 enzyme. So there are drugs, I don't know which drugs they are, but those drugs are on the market that inhibit DPP4, thus promote increased insulin. That's what this is. The caveat is, bold letters, such drugs also produce serious adverse side effects. Welcome Collagen Daily. Collagen peptides inhibit the activity of DPP4, and it is not toxic. So can collagen peptides help diabetes type 2? The answer is absolutely yes. It does that because it inhibits DPP4. And just remember, DPP4 enzyme reduces how much insulin your pancreas can produce, reduces it. The collagen peptide blocks that enzyme. And by the way, again, there's a pharmaceutical drug that does that. This does it with absolutely no side effects. And that's powerful. So collagen peptides improve the production of insulin by reducing the activity of enzyme DPP4, which decreases the production of insulin. So that's a good thing. So the summary, according to Dr. Prasad, microdaily EMF makes everything toward working, and collagen peptide improves the production of insulin. That combination of microdaily collagen peptides and probiotics is very beneficial to someone who's working to improve their body's processing of glucose, sugar, or diabetes. And he gave us a summary of a double-blind placebo-controlled study with collagen peptides on type 2 diabetes. So this is not, again, just conjecture. This is not laboratory thinking. This is Dr. Prasad presenting to us the results of a double-blind placebo-controlled study that was done on collagen peptides in general. As it relates to type 2 diabetes, it was a 12-week study. Here's what the results were. Fasting glucose in the group that just had the drug was 125. When collagen peptide was combined with the drug group, the fasting glucose dropped to 105. The A1C in the drug group was 6. When collagen peptides was added to the drug group, the A1C dropped to 5. Also, insulin resistance decreased from 5. So that's clinical proof that it actually was beneficial. It actually positively worked. Combining collagen peptides along with the drugs was beneficial with type 2 diabetes. Therefore, Dr. Prasad gave us his conclusion, highly recommending microdaily EMF combined with collagen peptides and probiotics that would improve the effectiveness of drugs in reducing the progression of type 2 diabetes. Hence, the recommendation is for Dr. Prasad's Choice Bundle. The price has been decreased, by the way, on this bundle. So that's a bit of good news for anyone who is interested in buying that. So we recommend that you just get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they will help you to get access to those products. So I'm going to end my screen share right here. And we're going to take a couple of minutes here to address some of the questions that may have come up. So, and some of these questions might, I may or may not know the answer to them, but I'll do my best to answer some of your questions. But if anyone has another story indicating some benefits that they've gotten, feel free to share that with us as well. Okay, so let's go. Lisa Abrams, you have a question or a comment? Please go ahead.
Hi, Jonathan. My mother has rheumatoid arthritis, and so I'm looking at collagen as something that will be helpful for her, but she also is on blood thinners because she's had a history of blood clots. And so I'm curious about the vitamin K and whether or not, this would be safe for her with regards to that.
That's a very good question. And Lisa, we get that question a lot. And Dr. Prasad has commented on it. I'm going to take you back to, do you have a copy of the brochure, Healthy Daily Nutrition to Live Your Best Life?
Yes, I do.
Look at the timeline on there. And there's a box called safety testing. Right on the timeline, you'll see an entry called safety testing. Up above and to the right, you'll see that Dr. Prasad, the product had to go through the military IRB, Internal Review Board. Part of that process was Dr. Prasad had to prove that there were no contraindications with any medications, including blood thinners.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. And good question. Thank you for bringing that up.
Could I ask a question?
Yes,
Yep,
you're
yep. I think that's Gilbert.
Yes, this is Gilberto Centeno.
Go ahead, Alberto Centeno.
I have diabetes. Yes, excuse me. Woo. I have diabetes, pre-diabetic, and if this works for me, I will sure be telling everybody that I know that this. You saying what if I understood you right, that the collagen product helps to reduce diabetes,
Well,
type 2 diabetes?
let me just say to this, there is scientific clinical proof that collagen peptides, when added to a product that has massive antioxidant capability, which is microdaily, that it improves the effectiveness even of diabetes drugs used in combination, number one. Number two, which I didn't go into today because this was not a discussion about diabetes per se, but one of the patents that the original formula for microdaily, which is called MMF, military micronutrient formulations, one of the original patents, number 7605145, I believe exactly, has the title micronutrient formulation for the treatment of diabetes mellitus.
Well, I don't use medication. I try to control it with diet and exercise.
Well, let me tell you something, Gilberto.
Go ahead.
What you want to do is you want to get back with whoever invited you today, whoever invited you here today, you want to get back with them and ask them to get you started on microdaily EMF, collagen peptide, and the probiotic. Okay, get started on that. My suggestion to do.
Actually, he is already on it, Jonathan. I was the one put him on it. He's got the Dr. Prasad special for 3 days, and Gilberto will be seeing some results.
Very good. So Gilberto, my suggestion to you would be to maybe add 1 extra dose to what you're doing per day of the microdaily, right? And then keep the collagen in as part of your diet, and you're going to be happy with the results. You're going to be happy with the results.
Okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah. Looking forward to hearing your story. Okay.
You will be hearing my story.
All right. Good. Stephanie pink card. I think that's Stephanie.
Yeah, it's me. I just wanted to just say this because I wasn't really sure when I first started taking, because I deal with degeneration, osteoarthritis in the back, my spine, and I was looking to be looking into some surgery because it's really bad, affecting even my walking. But I did start on I've been taking the bundle, and the collagen. One of the things I noticed, and I'm only going into, what would this be, like my second month that I'm going to be using it. And I'm still taking some of my medications, not as much, but I am noticing that I don't have as much pain back there in my spine as I was having. And I'm even thinking now that I don't think I'm gonna start looking into them doing the surgery in my back. So just to say that collagen really does, I can see that it really does help. And then Jonathan, when you said you had herniated disc, I was like, wow, because it's very painful, those things, but it really does, that collagen. When we mixed it up, we could see the strands of it. We're very scientific in my house, so we can see the strands. And I tell you, yeah, it's definitely a good deal.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that story. That adds to the library of knowledge that everyone has had here today. So very good. Thank you very much for sharing that, Stephanie. Okay. Who we got next there, Bernard? Is it Conrad?
It's going to be Conrad next.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Yes, I would like to know if a person with cancer, can they take the collagen for diabetes as well? If they
That's
have particular blood cancer.
That's a very good question, Conrad. Thank you very much for raising that question. I sought clarification from Dr. Prasad on that. He had some concern if a person was dealing with something like a full-blown tumor, some mass inside their body, but when they have other types of abnormal cell activity, we have many anecdotal stories of folks that are benefiting from the collagen while they're fighting some other forms of abnormal cell activity. So absolutely, positively, it's beneficial, okay? Got you, Conrad?
I think he's muted out, but go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Conrad. Thank you for raising the question. Geneva Topping.
Correct.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
Hi, Jonathan. I have a question, not about the Collagen today. We are all on Collagen right now. We're doing fine. But what happened with my son-in-law, he had like a cyst on the leg, and finally he was trying to take care of himself and found out that it was malignant. It was cancer. So now he done had the surgery, and they claim they got it all and everything like that. He's wearing a boot, it's draining, and they did plastic surgery. So now what I want to know, what can he take to help keep that cancer at bay?
Very good question. We had a nice discussion with Dr. Prasad about that very same topic, Geneva.
I missed it.
Most of the recordings are still available out there on YouTube. So I'm not sure, I don't remember whose organization you're in, but you can always send an email and we'll make sure that the link to that is shared with you. But Dr. Prasad covered the role that micronutrients play in the treatment and the prevention of cancer. So he did them on separate occasions. As far as prevention was concerned, he highly recommended micronutrients because when taken in high doses, it happens to do a couple things. It stops the feeding mechanism for the abnormal cells, and it also reduces the oxidative stress and the free radicals that contribute to the production of abnormal cells. So if he has it actively in his body, then take 3 times the normal dose plus 1 extra dose. 3 times the normal amount plus an extra dose. Then,
Okay, go ahead.
then in addition to that, if he does not have it active, then just taking 2 times will be should be enough as a prevention. That's what I take right now. I personally take twice the normal amount of micro daily.
Okay, just regular micro daily, the EMF.
Well, the EMF is the best one. The EMF is the strongest formula, but it is, I mean, you can't go wrong with the original formula either. But the EMF is the strongest formula, so that's the one that we recommend.
Okay, and so he would take that like twice a day, you said?
Twice a day. Yep, and twice the amount. So if instead of taking 3 capsules twice a day, he should take. I'm recommending 6 capsules twice a day as a suggestion. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Jonathan, you're gonna thank you so much.
Very much.
You're good.
Jonathan, you're gonna have just 2 more because of the time, respective time. We have Julia and then Fred downtown is going to end us out. So Julia, go ahead with yours. And then you got a couple on your question thing if you just want to comment on it way out the door.
Okay.
Julia, please unmute.
You can come back to Julia. Fred is downtown. Fred is already unmuted.
Well, go with downtown and Julia, work with that unmuting button. Go ahead, Fred.
Sounds good. You can hear me okay?
We can hear you. Wonderful.
Excellent. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to ask a question. Thanks for taking the time to provide the information for the folks. As far as the probiotic, is it dairy free?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and thank you. And the last thing is, if a person could not afford the whole bundle, someone with Alzheimer's, what would be the starting product? Or if they had diabetes, what would be the starting product if they had to, was on a budget?
If they had to choose only one, I would say micro daily EMF and probiotic boost.
Okay.
If they were on a budget. Notice I said if they could only had to choose one, but I put it in the order of priority.
Got for just in general health challenges that people have.
Absolutely. The baseline is micro daily EMF. That's the baseline. And but I would, at the risk of losing some of the benefits of micro daily EMF, I would double up on micro daily original to increase the amount of micro daily base formula in that situation if it was me. So I would double up on the original if I was really on a tight budget.
When you say original, but you were recommending getting the EMF.
The EMF is the better formula, absolutely. But if budget is an issue, rather than taking just enough of the EMF, I would double up on the original.
Fair. Okay, thank you very much. That was mine.
In fact, Jonathan, it's just a $20 difference, Fred, just to let you know that. If $20 was the difference between the best and something that perhaps is good, then it's a consideration of what is it worth to try to get it to that EMF status.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's all I had today.
All right, very good.
Thank you so
for your
much.
question. And while Julia's trying to unmute herself, there is a question that came up in the chat about the LifeWave X39 patches. Those are very good. I use them, and the only problem I had with them, to be quite frank with you, was you had to really be knowledgeable on the placement. If you are familiar with placement and very good with the placement of the patches, yeah, they have some benefit. And there's no contraindication. There's no conflict with using micronutrients or engaged global products along with it. So to me, the patches, in my opinion, was just too much high maintenance. That's the only reason why I did not continue to use them or provide them for my mother-in-law. Okay, looks like we lost Julia.
Well, you do have Marie, if you want to just end out with Marie.
Okay, let's get Marie. And someone asked a question: Can hot liquids hurt the collagen daily? Absolutely not. I put collagen daily in my hot tea and my hot coffee, whichever I'm drinking. So you can't do it any harm. Just pop it right in there, and it's tasteless, so it does not alter your the flavor of your coffee. So go ahead, Marie, please. You got the last word on this.
Hello, everyone. I hesitated to say anything, but I do have a testimony. I am 72 years old. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have type 2 diabetes and a few other things. But I recently went to my rheumatoid doctor. She has me on methotrexate, and I understand that is for what is that? Chemo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I normally take 6 of those little pills once a week on Saturday. She told me, you are doing so great that we're going to ease you off of those. So I've been doing one less for the last 3 weeks. And I went to my regular doctor on my diabetes, and my numbers were at 6.6. Now they're at 5.8. I've been taking these products since November. And also I had infection in my left breast, and I had surgery back in October. In November, I went to my physician there, and she told me, you're healed. You're doing great. And they wanted to know what I was doing. I happened to take my whole bundle with me and showed them what I was taking. And they said, this is some good stuff. So I say, give me a few of you guys' emails, and I'll have you tune in to hear about these great products. I have to say that I love them. My family is on them. We're seeing some good results, and I'll be on it for the rest of my life. So that's all I wanted to say. I just want to help people, and I sit here, I hesitated to do this, but I said, maybe I can help someone. And that's my goal, to help. And I love Engage Global and my family, Engage Global family and my family. And that's all I have to say. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. That's a powerful note to end on. And just for the record, the FDA has not evaluated any of these statements that were made tonight. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. What's been presented is for information and educational purposes only. I'm not a doctor. Don't do anything I say because I say it. I strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. But having said that, this is information that you could take to the bank.
Can I say one more thing?
Please go ahead. Go ahead, Marie.
I live on I have upstairs and downstairs. Man, I can run up and down my steps now. I used to not be able to do that. I can stand in my kitchen and cook a full-course meal. This arthritic hand, I can flip and flop it. Normally this time of the year, I experience pain where I can't even raise my hand. Man, I'm sorry. I feel great. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful, Bernard.
This has been absolutely great. And most people stayed. That's what was amazing. You did a great job, by the way, explaining Collagen. People give him accolades by a virtual hand or a wave or something, because Jonathan did a great job. And Dr. Prasad is going to be proud of you.
You did well, bro. You hear me?
Great
you
job.
did well,
Thanks,
John.
Jonathan. That was really good.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Dr. Prasad's armpit, you know, so.
Jonathan, thank you.
You got it, Jay.
Dr. Prasad will be back next week on Sunday. We're talking about.
Dr. Prasad will be back next week. He'll be back next week.
Talking about the heart next week, so you want to be there.
Ooh,
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, Jonathan.